Getting this started up. If it finishes loading, there we go. Alrighty. Thank you all for tuning in. Just make sure you enter the roll 20, as there will probably be combat this session. Thank you all for tuning in. Last session, party left their dealings in Asterium proper. They made their way back to the Adventurers Tavern, where they got a pleasant surprise about a decent chunk of goblins having moved in and started setting up shop, being helpful. They accepted a job, a test of sorts, to see if they're worthy of moving up in the ranks of the Adventurers Guild. There was a oddly intelligent owlbear they found out that has been stealing food and ransacking the farmers, causing them to be terrified. It always strikes in the night. As such, the Adventurers Guild has been contracted, or has willingly, out of their own provocation, looked into it, and is sending the party out to investigate it as a test. They were just getting ready to ship off from the tavern to go investigate it where we left off. So party, after having drinks and finishing up your investigations and deciding to set off for the owlbear, you step out of the tavern, having gotten most of the information that you could get out of it. And as you step out, how do you want to go about looking for this owlbear?
That's the question, isn't it?
Nature, Bob.
Well, so do we know approximately how far away it would be? Like, are we kind of near the location where it is, or?
You would know that it's somewhere in the farmlands nearby.
Okay. Okay. So before I make a nature check, though, I'm gonna cast Gift of Alacrity on our party members so we have better initiative and blow all my first level slots.
Before you do your nature check, I'm gonna do this too.
Okay.
Hey, there we go. Party thinking about things. Very smart. Very
Outside
smart.
of town, finally, so
Yeah.
you can do it.
The real question is, when don't you use guidance? Okay. Gift of Alacrity. Should I roll it for every person, or should I just roll it once?
Let's see. Touch. Range it. You touch a willing creature for the duration you can target. You can add 1d8 to the initiative rolls. Let's see.
I'll come now. I have a perfect picture of the card using that.
I'm just using this for now. I love the picture that you have for the card. I just needed a token. I could have used yours. And I can if a party wants me to vote for it, but this is what I had prepped. My generic cart token was here.
That's fine. Yeah, just roll it once. Or roll it for each person.
Let's see. Roll it for each person, just for full fairness. Just because you could get better rolls than a 1 added to initiative. You could get better than a 1 to initiative. Potentially. Theoretically.
I'll take one of the ones, so.
Me too. Delon should be... It's actually better if he goes first, since he charges in anyway.
True.
So take a +6 to initiative for the next 8 hours.
You don't want to put one on Eleanor, who's coming?
Is it better for the wizard to go first or last, though? That's the real question. And do I want to keep one for a fog cloud in case we need it to run? That's the real question. I'll cast it on Eleanor as well. Why not?
1.
Who needs first level spells when your whole job is
There we go.
transform?
+7 for Eleanor.
Nice.
Be useful.
Alrighty.
Now I have 0 slots remaining for level 1.
It's okay, you can always transform.
And now I'll make a nature check.
Yeah.
So that is what was the guidance?
Roll a d4.
D4, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you rolled it or not.
Now you have to roll it.
All right, that's a 15.
Alright, so with the 15, as you're looking about, Bob, kind of looking around the area and checking for tracks and other things, due to the farmlands and the area around you, if it's hunting at night, it must be prolific and able to see in the dark times, and it's likely nocturnal in nature. Additionally, you would know that it could potentially be shacking up in either an abandoned farmland, sort of an area that's not currently being run by a family, as there are not really a cave or very many good hovels that are within range for it to drag all the food that it's supposedly taking in a short distance, meaning it must be somewhere within the farmlands themselves.
Interesting. All right, I'll let the party know that. So somewhere in the farmlands. Trying to think. Sadly, I'm not high enough level to have anything that can fly. Otherwise, that's what I would be doing. Let's see.
There's still quite a lot of ground to cover.
Maybe I should have done the nature check first. Da da da. Well, let's see. I guess we could investigate and try to find it, but I'm not good at investigation.
Well, it's still daytime, right?
Yes.
It
Oh,
is.
Yeah, got still plenty of time before next night to actually calm the place, or at least I don't know, half of it. I think we should focus on where the owlbear hid first, so you can notice patterns, I don't know, certain way it came in to attack.
Okay. I'm gonna make a survival check and see if I can find tracks or any traces of it moving around. Thank you. Oh, that's not as good. I think it might be worthwhile to spend one of my inspiration points. I'm gonna do that.
The curse of Bub strikes again!
You know what? Screw it. I'm using all my inspiration. No, wait, no, I have 2 more, but I'm gonna use my other one. So there we okay, that's
Yeah.
better.
Right,
Oh my
roll the
God.
d4.
Okay,
15.
that's another 15.
Alright, so as the party begins going to some of the farms that have been ransacked, looking around for any, paw prints in the dirt, or tracks, or the like, something left behind, Bub, you do actually manage to find that, one of the farms that was hit very recently, as in about 2 nights ago, has a big old, looks like taloned bear print leading in the mud, leading to the west, where there are other farms, but they're farms that are out of season. Essentially, they're rotating their crops away from that
Right.
farmland. That one's unused currently.
Interesting. Alright, well, let's investigate there.
So as you follow the tracks, I'm gonna move where I'm starting you off on the map, because you found the tracks. Which means that you start roughly here. Here we go. So as you follow the tracks, you make your way to one of these abandoned farmlands. Making your way here, starting off through a bit of some hedges that have been set up for that are designed to kind of decompress into the ground. They look like they're already in the process of that, so that in the next season they'll have fertilized the soil, essentially.
Interesting. Okay, and it's still during the day. Let's see, so... I noticed that we do indeed have some stuff to hide behind here, so...
In front of you at the moment, specifically right in this mud here, are bear prints that lead this way.
Alright, so I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace on the party.
Alrighty.
I'm just trying to check if there's a limit. No, it's just, okay, each creature I choose within 30 feet, so it's everybody. Okay. Okay, down to 2. And so Bob points towards the tracks and puts up, I guess it's a hand, like, shh.
And so you think it's in there?
Yeah, so Bob nods.
Well, at the very least, if it's inside the barn, I can corner it, but at the same time, is it really why?
Well, so for the sake of this current map, I'm allowing the party to move up to their movement on the map as they see fit before initiative starts. So essentially, I'm treating it like a round. So when you move, you can move up to your feet, up to your movement in feet, across the map in certain places at a time, and then I will have you stop. Essentially,
Okay.
update.
Right. Can we dash?
If you want to dash, you could. It would make more. It would make it
Yes.
harder to hide, though.
Yeah. I think you.
You already have armor. Let's not tempt fate here. I mean, if it was me, maybe.
Well, hey. If it knows I'm here, but it doesn't know you're here, then all the better, right?
Let's see.
Wow.
I'm going to do one of these on the object layer. So the bear prints lead about this way, just so it's permanently there. And there is some red that you can see in a pool leading into the barn as well at the end.
It's like from here. Can we see the other entrance?
Or is the wall like?
The
large?
wall is a stone rock wall, sort of built with stones leading up, kind of like an Irish stone wall on an Irish farm property. But it's surprisingly high. It's like it offers like 3/4 cover.
Right.
So your heads could poke over it if you try.
Well, for some of us.
For some of you. For Delon, I imagine since he's on a horse, he's actually above it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's funny. I have to lean down to see if I'm like covering a little bit. But even
Well,
that
that's
is gonna see me.
I'm gonna poke my head over and see what I can see.
So as you poke your head over, you can see that the barn doesn't have an entrance on this side. Seems to be only on one side. And in this direction, there is a tree here which has large talon marks on it, scratched up and down it, similar to as if a cat was scratching on a tree or something.
Alright, so I turn back and say,
Those of you
Well,
with
it
good
does-
nature skills would know that's basically a marking of territory.
Indeed.
so I'll say, yeah, you see the tree over there? There's giant claw marks on it. So this is definitely the place.
That means it's marked this place as its territory.
Now,
That is... We must remove it from these premises.
let's see.
Easy to
There's
say.
the walls are also bending, so
Didn't mean to press that.
it's probably under the entrance too. Shall we try?
Your
and,
casting spike growth where?
No, I didn't mean to click that yet. I was
It's
trying to look
okay.
the
It's okay.
information.
I heard you say I didn't mean to press that. I immediately looked up. I was like, wait, what? Okay, so
That's
concentration.
for after I see it.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say. So the wall's bending down the wall, well, to the right. So I think I'll try and make my way over down there and see if I can see anything from inside the farm.
Alright then.
So I'll gently make my way.
Meanwhile, Delon plans to Ipona a charge over the wall.
30,
As one does.
30. Yeah, okay, let's do the 30 first. About there. Of course, tell me if I have to roll stealth, of course.
Alrighty. So as you get over into this corner, you find that the mud in this area feels like you sink into it a bit.
In that case, I'm gonna try and be like closer to the wall. Well, I'll expand on my movement point, but at least for the less few feet.
Alrighty. So who would like to do something else currently?
Well, we haven't heard Eleanor speak at the moment. I guess she's still hungover. So
She is clearly hungover at the moment. She is kind of like rubbing her temple, but she's looking around, kind of trying to figure out some things.
Delon will whisper, "Lydia, all is all well."
Yes, it's just that I do believe that the meat hit me a bit harsh.
I see. Hope that won't interrupt in the fight ahead.
Oh, do not worry about that. I can still keep concentration, and if I stay far enough back, I should be fine. It should be
Good.
no detriment to all of you.
Good to hear. I'll be moving forward ahead. Best to face this beast head on, at least to draw its attacks. That way everyone else can gather and plan.
You hear a dog barking in the distance on a neighboring farm.
Alright, so I'm gonna move. Get a little bit behind this thingy jig right there.
Alright, so you get right behind a cart here.
Dun 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 dun.
So I do want you, as you're in this area, to make me a stealth roll. I believe you have, I think you have disadvantage, technically speaking. But you also are adding a +10 due to Pass Without Trace. By the way, Bub,
Stealth.
remember that Pass Without Trace is a concentration spell.
Yes, I know.
Stealth rope, bro.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh shit. Just a 15.
15. Alright. Let me make a roll.
Not a bad roll.
Well, with your help.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Everybody picks heavy armor. I mean, it makes sense for your character because you have a mount.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the mount, I wouldn't have. I would at best
Yep,
get like
yep.
medium.
Medium. I like medium armor and a shield.
I'm a light armor because I get an uncapped dex benefit personally. But then once my dex gets maxed, I switch to medium.
Once I get the ability to have like heavy armor and a shield, then like my AC becomes like 30 or something ridiculous.
I was beginner facey and all that. I forgot to use my Blessing of the Forge or someone, so.
Oh,
Alrighty. So as you
I gotta
get
also
to this point, Delon, You could
Yes.
see that there is the bear prints that were caked in mud stop about here. As you can see that the grass is slicked with mud. Oddly enough, the bear prints are in tracks of 2, not 4.
Oh, okay, that's solo then.
So as it walked in tracks of 2, so as if on hind legs,
Ooh,
oddly
I would do
enough,
that.
to this
Freaky.
point.
Smart.
Then
It's okay.
mud prints. There's a lot of mud slicking here. Then there's no more prints, but there was a bloody pool here that then drags into this barn here. The door is open here. I know it would make more sense for it to be here, but the farmers wanted a small opening for grain.
Mhm. It's a werewolf bear. First of its kind.
Righty then. I'm gonna keep concentration. Can't really do much else.
Alright. So you don't want to move at all, bub?
No.
Okay.
And try to play this one differently instead of just charging in.
So Eleanor is going to... Let's see.
Did I move my full for 30 or? Yeah, I did. Wasn't too sure.
Yeah, so Eleanor is going to move here. And kind of try to give Delon some support from behind.
That's what she said.
Alright, and I believe it should be... Yeah, it's going like Gildos, Delon, Bub, Eleanor. Yep, so Gildos, back to you.
So not finished running the wall, so I'm gonna get out the mud, close to the wall there, and move down 1, 2, 3, and then peek over the wall toward this whole area. See if there's anything.
Alright, so you got to about here. So, Gildos, when you moved down into here, I want you to make me an athletics check.
Sure. Don't even have athletics, so. Well, doesn't really matter, but here you go.
Alright, so you felt the mud kind of slinking beneath your feet, and you, as if guided by the divine, and taking the throwing caution to the wind, you start moving through it as the mud sinks in, as a pit has been revealed in the mud. You very carefully leap out of the way, and you see that the mud pit is about 30 feet down.
Ooh. That would have been bad.
I was just like, shake my hand. I was like, oh, but Bridget, that would have been bad. And yeah, after my close call, after all, yeah, I look over the wall and see. Well, actually, yeah, I'm gonna look over the wall, and then I'm gonna look the rest of the way and see if there's anything else I can spot before I step in it.
Alright, so you're making an active perception roll?
I shall do so, yes. That's a
17. Alright, so... So from your position here, you can see that in this area here, there is some rope with cowbells tied into it, covered with leaves and dirt in the trail.
Which area? I didn't see anything.
Oh, right, I'm on the wrong layer.
Yeah.
Whoops. So here, there is rope with cowbells
Oh,
strung
shit.
through here, covered surprisingly well with dirt. I'll do one of these.
Seems a little too smart for an owlbear.
So
Let's see. Additionally, here you can see that there is a spike pit trap that is conveniently hidden here. Again, covered with twigs and dirt and what look like wheat stalks that have been hidden to look like the dirt path.
sounds like a domesticated owlbear to me. So
The spikes that you can see as you kind of like, if you were to investigate it, look kind of like they're cut off, broken off very bluntly to cause sharp points, and it's just jammed into a hole in the ground with the broken sharp points sticking up. Very crude but effective.
So let's see. I'll do. If there's nothing else, I'll do one last thing. Is that okay? From my wall, from position, can I see Eleanor and can Eleanor see me?
Yes, you can see Eleanor and she can see
Right.
you.
So when she sees me, like since we're like far apart, I'm not gonna whisper anything. I'll motion with my hands, like a rope. Then like my hands do like kind of like bells and stuff. And then point to the direction of the barn, like beyond like what Dallin can see. Hopefully she understands what I mean, but like unfortunately she's a bit.
So
Too crunk.
she thinks for a moment, kind of, you see her brow furrow in confusion. Then she turns to you, Delon. I think Gildas is trying to warn us of something. I think he wants a lasso or a whip. Perhaps he wishes to restrain the beast.
Well, actually, just like if I see confusion on the face, I'll do one last thing. Is that pull back with my hands to say like, don't go too far. Essentially, like pull back a bit.
That she will understand without needing a roll. She kind of got roughly the idea what you meant, but not the specifics.
Right.
Yeah, there's some ropes there, traps.
She didn't understand the traps part, but she understood rope.
Yeah, they want to tie it up, and he's like, maybe.
So Delon, your turn.
Okay. I'm going to carefully maneuver.
Oh, and remember, I believe you can maneuver, I think, 60 feet because of your steed. I
Yes.
think that's his movement. Yeah, you can move her 60 feet. Also, I will do this for you.
Okay.
You can edit your steed, so you can change the name when you want to.
Oh, okay. But let's see.
Because I remembered.
So I'm gonna peek from this angle and see if I can see anything before moving any further.
So you're looking in the barn from this angle here?
Yes.
So your steed kind of claps his hoof a little in disgust at stepping in the blood, but he's not misbehaving by any means. And as you look inside the barn, you can see that there are dead cattle, dead sheep, and a large amount of farm animals, as well as some fruits and vegetables and the like, stacked up inside the barn, right in here. Funny enough, they seem to have been brought in for storage of some sort. And there's also the skins and the furs have been laid over as well and stacked up for like a bed in this room as well.
Huh.
But I don't see an owlbear.
No, you do not.
At that point, Delon will like lean over and whisper, say to Eleanor, "I don't see it. I don't see the owlbear. All I see is a rotten pile, and some of it delicately laid, stacked."
As you say that to her, you see her brow furrow. It must be hoarding for some reason. It's not even close to winter. What could it be desiring so much of a stockpile for?
As I have a bonus action left, right?
Yes, you do.
Alright, so I'm just gonna do this now. Remember, everyone, we are here to vanquish a treacherous beast. We shall do so with honor and integrity. With that, you can be certain, and we will be legendary for doing so. Have faith that we shall do so. Which one of you wants an inspiration die? That's a D6, a heroic inspiration die. Who wants a D6? A bonus D6 they can hold on to in their pocket when they need it.
Gildas.
Yeah, I could probably use it.
Alright,
Let's do
Gildas,
it.
here you go.
Thank you.
Here's a D6. I also gain one D6. I use my heroic inspiration. And that will be my turn. Just to have that prepped. So any attack, a saving throw, or anything like that, you can use a D6 as long as it's before he's determined the results.
Alrighty. Bub.
The biggest problem is I can't get over the wall.
I'm too short.
I mean, you can still walk through there.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to anyway. One.
Like, hide in the bush there.
That is literally gonna be my plan. Is this? Can I hide in the corner of the bush over here since it's small?
Yes, you can, since you're small.
Okay, sweet. All right, I hide in
The
the
way I
bush.
treat Bub's, if he can hide it, I'm like, if a goblin could hide in it, so could Bub.
And I continue concentrating.
Alright, I also want you to make a stealth roll, since you are actively hiding.
Okay. $33.
Bub is,
When
suddenly,
I don't need it.
we all hear, in Bub's head, he starts mumbling, ba 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 ba, as he just disappears into the bush. Activating his
Homer
octo
Simpson.
camo, I swear.
He pulls a Homer Simpson.
Alright. So on Eleanor's turn, Discord's being a little screwy today. Keeps making me have to refresh the page a little bit. Shall be fine. Let's see. She is going to cast this on herself. Changing her current AC to 14.
See, is that a window over there?
It is a bit of a window, yeah. It's higher up than she is currently. She would need to jump to get it. Or climb up a little bit to look in. And she will... move to about here. And also have to make a stealth, which she doesn't have a proficiency in. So, just rolls regular. She gets a 14.
So, if you are making a stealth roll when you're there, but I'm not making any when I'm there, then that means the old bear was more likely to be up there than down there. I'm just saying.
I'm
This
honestly
is why-
expecting him to come from like the north or the south. It's like, haha, I wasn't on the map after all. And attacks us.
So you know, like it's like that's a big day. There's a damn big barn over there. Like, we'll probably hide an old bear there. Like all the bells and whistles are like, so that if you get caught there, there, or there, it has time to go down there and like fuck you up. Now, of course, we can't know for sure because who knows? He might just be hiding under the dead meat pile.
He freaking Rambo's it. Rambo bear.
I mean, it is an intelligent.
It's a large creature, though.
Supposedly.
If he did that, though, I would just clap. It's like, Marshall, I don't even care that he killed the party. That's just good.
I did specify that there were a lot of medium creatures killed in there, like cows and lots of small ones as well, like sheeps and stuff. There's a surprising amount of dead stuff in there, and it is all in a pile, so, you know.
Dead animal storage.
But alright, that's Eleanor's turn. That goes back to Gildos.
So I'm gonna make my way just shy of the spike trap. So over there. And let's see. About that building over there. Is there a door or something?
It looks like an open air, for the most part, a simple, like, cattle storage area.
Okay, yeah.
Like a barn that holds cattle. There's some, like, bars and racks to keep them in place and some places to milk them with a thatch roof, but it's empty currently.
I just want to make sure. So, let's see, is there anything you can do about the spike trap? Cause like, I doubt I can just do that.
No, you'd have to either spend double movement to get over the wall, or you'd have to make an athletics roll to jump from here over the spike trap.
So let's see. Well, I mean, I do have the inspiration from my good friends, so let's try and jump over. Although, yeah, like, I don't see the point in, like, making a normal, like, strength save when, like, the bonus are, like, the same, but yeah, let's do it. Just for transparency's sake. And I should have rolled before that, the dice, but I think a 19 for that kind of jump is enough, right?
So, as you jump over it, Gildos, you successfully clear the distance and land with a 19, slightly further than you were intending, ending up basically right here.
Huh.
As you leaped forwards.
Alright. Let's see. Can I see? Can I even peek inside of that? From where I stand, or?
No, the sole entrance is where Delon is, and there's a wooden door that's blocking Delon from sight. But you can see that there's like a horse tail on the other side of this door.
Well then instead, let's see if I can perceive anything from the door over there. See if there's anything special to it.
Roll perception.
On it. I still forgot about the dice.
So you
Versus
roll it
12.
before I give before I determine if it succeeded or failed, basically.
Right. I mean, for me, 12 seems a bit. So let's use it. Yeah, 15. I like this better.
So from this distance, Gildos, the gate here looks like it is meant to separate the livestock area from a living area.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pretty ornate gate. Though you can see from this distance large claw marks on the gate. As if, specifically on the latching mechanism, and on the on the parts that it would be pulled closed or open.
Alright. So let's see. Ah, man, you're just shy. Because I was going to mage hand your shoulder. The point of the door. But I can't do that. So that would be my turn. Well, can you even hear me if I whisper from there?
Probably.
Right. So I'll say, Talon, check the door behind you.
Okay. I don't need to roll for that, do I? I can hear that, correct?
I'll be nice to say you can hear him.
I mean,
Though
there's really no
Gildas,
reason.
if you are kind of whisper shouting, I want you to make a stealth roll for it.
That makes sense.
Disadvantage or not? Because like I'm not moving, so.
No disadvantage, just a stealth roll. Because you're
Alright.
throwing your voice. It's a different kind of a stealth, essentially.
Yeah.
27.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm sure I got that.
Stealth shout.
Stealth shout.
You know, like whisper yelling. Hey! That kind. When you're scared of getting caught as a teenager, but you still yell anyways.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Alright,
Let
so
me-
yeah, I guess I'll make my way to the door. The whole door.
Oh man.
I'm
So
gonna
as
try
you
and get past
so as
the
you
map.
get to this door, you find that it's a very large oaken door, very well crafted. This farm actually looks like it was owned by a farmers of some value, and you can see that it is still actually well in good shape. It would take a little bit to burst it open, but it's held closed by a roughly simple latch. It's just the latch looks heavy. On the latch alone, you can see that there are claw marks that scrape as the latch would have been that looks as if it would have been scraped as the latch was lifted up and down. And the door, the sides of this gate, that they open outwards, so they open this way
Mhm.
in a pushing motion. And it looks like the left door, more than the right one, is usually opened, and the right one's left alone, due to how many claw marks are on the left one on the edge.
Interesting. I'm gonna lift up the latch and push it and try to gently push the door.
Alright, so as you lift the latch and open the door makes an audible groaning noise.
Guess who's home?
Alrighty, anything else you want to do?
I still technically have movement, don't I?
I believe so, because you only moved, let's see.
Yeah.
One,
Yeah, I barely I only
three,
did like
four,
15.
5. You did like roughly, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, that's 15.
Like, yeah, 15 or so movement. You have like either like 45 left.
45, yeah.
Yeah. 5, 10, 15.
Alright. It's like 4, so we lost.
So as you're
Um,
moving through, I want you to make an athletics roll.
Oh, okay. Me and my horse. So to make an athletics roll. Ooh. 17.
All right. So with the 17, you feel as you're being walking through this way that
Mhm.
the ground begins to kind of give way, and you kick the side of your steed a little bit as he leaps, vaulting right over as the ground bellows out beneath you, revealing a pit trap.
Mm. Clever beast.
We're playing Farm of Annihilation. You want traps? We have traps. All kinds. We have pit trap, spike trap, cowbell trap,
Mhm.
maybe fireball trap. Who knows?
45, and I think I'll wait right there and see if I can hear anything.
Alright, so if you're trying to hear something, make me a perception roll.
Okay.
Bub, I want you to make me a perception roll as well.
Yeah,
But
7.
we'll have to have the GM do it.
Oh, is he away at the
It's-
moment?
No, it's a 4 for him, so. if you remember.
Oh, he already left?
Yeah.
I missed that. Bomberski. But alright then.
Like I heard like the whole chat log off and like I was like check the times. Like, oh, it's full.
Alrighty, I will do that for Bub then. Bob has no idea. And Delon, you don't hear anything either. As that's not as interesting since player's not here, but Eleanor and Bub see as something some clawed hands reach over the wall as something puts one leg over it and then the other and plumps down on two legs.
Oh,
Bullshit. What shit?
Eleanor, her breath catches in her throat as she prepares a spell. Bub is unseen still. So he's fine. But this thing's leg stomped basically right next to him. So it mooshed down with two big fat owlbear legs into the bush next to him. And I'm going to change the music.
Let's see how far am I.
And I want
Okay.
everyone to roll initiative.
So that's
I
gonna
will do
be.
that for Bub. Bub, I believe, is getting a +1 to his.
I forgot to select my token, but that'd be like a 14 total.
Alright.
So let me just put it in my thing. There you go.
Alright, there we go. I'll do for Eleanor initiative roll as well.
You want me to know initiative now?
Yes, I want you to do it as well.
Okay.
Eleanor's getting a +7, that's 26.
We got play let down fiddles.
$13.
Alright, that's actually a 19. Because you got a +6.
Yeah. Owlbear has no initiative. It is 0. It is just a lumbering little owlbear. He's just like
Before it's a surprise round.
a 4. That is acceptable. We accept that.
Alright, so I'm gonna do descending now. So Eleanor and Bub are surprise rounded due to the fact that it showed up without them being fully awares. But Delon, you still get to move as normal. The owlbear looks at them, raises a clawed finger to its beak, and begins moving.
Away?
Away from them, yep. Delon?
Oh. Well, I assume that I just see it happen?
No, unfortunately not.
So I'm just gonna investigate the cabin then. Someone's told me otherwise.
So as you approach this very large cabin and barn, is this cabin barn area, you find that it is it looks like there's been a lot of furniture moved in from elsewhere. There's a big old bed that is broken. There is a bunch of fur stacked on top of the bed, like blankets. You can see a big, like, what looks like a watering trough for animals has just been dragged in, and there's a towel draped over the side.
Asshole's trying to make his own home here.
Wait, I mean, didn't the owlbear just literally shush them? Like, you didn't see the thing.
But there's nothing in here, though you can see bear prints leading this way.
I will follow the bear prints then.
All right.
I'm not told otherwise.
So as you follow the bear prints, they lead to a little house here, and you can see that they stop at the wall, and you can see claw marks on the wall, and some rubble from the side of the building on the ground. It's not hard for you to puzzle out. Something climbed on top and kind of made its way across this little shack here.
Crap.
What's that?
Delon puts the pieces together. Oh no. And that's about as far as I can get.
Alrighty.
I think.
If you
Maybe
want,
like
I
50.
think you can do bonus action to dash. Or I mean,
It's true.
standard action to dash, which because you don't actually have the way to do a bonus, but you can do standard, which will
Alright,
allow
I'll
you
do
to double your
Double
movement.
movement.
So you can move
Yeah.
another 60.
And then I'll have to roll athletics to get over this because I don't want to waste
Yes.
time.
Since you're basically already dashing, you will roll it with advantage. Since you're on a horse. All right. You easily vault over the wall on your mount. Since you had a running start.
And I plot back and make sure my companions are okay.
You can see Eleanor has her hand ready as if to cast a spell, though she looks like she's just seen a ghost. Her eyes are wide and she's a little shaky. Delon, thank heavens. This massive lumbering bear just plopped over the wall and shushed me.
It seems we found our perpetrator. Stay vigilant.
Yes, it went that way. She points this way. Gildos.
Gildas.
Alright, so Mr. Perception here. Do I hear anything coming from down here? Like that would be heavier than like a normal human.
Let's find out.
Alright.
You hear kind of lumbering loud footfalls that are moving slowly this way.
Right. And I know Dalan went the other way, so I know for sure it's not him.
It is
So-
accompanied by the sound of like a trombone.
If Dalan was here and he didn't go inside the barn, then that means there was nothing in it, essentially. Or at least I can piece two and two together. So let's cut the owlbear's way, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like right there.
Alright, from this position you can see a giant, bigger than average owlbear is attempting to tiptoe behind this barn on its hind legs.
It really is there. Shit, what do I do now? I can probably walk around me anyway. So.
Hold on, let me actually adjust the token of the owlbear a little bit.
Actually, what's the reaction of
Good
the
enough.
owlbear?
Since I'm imagining you're kind of peeking around the corner, right?
Yeah, I mean, it probably sees me anyway.
Let's see, I'm gonna have it roll perception. Yes, as you peek around the corner, you see that its eyes look at you, and it holds up a single, very large blade-like talon to its beak, as if shushing you.
It's just like, like raising an eyebrow, but honestly, I think since I'm like alone at the moment, I'm just gonna do that.
Alrighty.
Give it to myself. It's a bonus action. Oh, well, whatever. I could have checked a javelin at it, but I don't know.
So on Bub's turn, he is going to come over here, and he is going to, because I believe this is what the player that was playing Bub wanted to do on his turn. He's going to do this in a 20-foot radius. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. Let's see. Centered on a point within range. Okay. Something like that. Yeah, about like that. I'm gonna do that. Bub gets rid of his Pass Without Trace and proceeds to cast Spike Growth, causing the area underneath and around the owlbear to become difficult terrain.
Nice.
And that will be his turn, I believe. The owlbear, feeling the ground beneath it become sharp, will kind of raise one big bear paw, then the other, and sink its mighty talons into the wall of the building, and begin climbing up the building.
Huh.
Manages to get about halfway up the building, and it will take, let's see, roll. So it takes a good hefty 20 chunk of piercing. As Gildos, you can see from your vantage point that anywhere it steps on the sharp pointy spikes, it leaves very visible open wounds.
Uh-huh.
Its hide looks unusually thick, but it seems to have anything that is piercing it just goes right through like butter.
Oh, time for the javelin.
Alright, Evelyn's turn. So... Eleanor is going to take a few steps over and begin muttering to herself, as she then will fire an Eldritch Blast at it. That is a hit, as some beams shoot out from the palm of her hand, arcing through the air and blasting straight onto the owlbear, dealing 8 force damage. Its head turns completely around 180 degrees, and its beak starts moving. Stop that.
It can talk?
Owlbears can talk, dude.
I guess.
Yeah, some of
You
them.
know, back home we had normal bears, not that.
Eleanor noticeably takes a step back. It is intelligent.
Delon. Oh, okay. I will take this opportunity then. Owlbear! To get its attention.
So, still hanging from the side of the barn, you hear a voice boom back at you. What?
Good creature. Have you been the one upsetting? Have you been the one upsetting the locals, taking their land, killing their sheep and harvest?
It is not taking what is not being used. If
These
they
are the
were not
people's
using
livelihood.
it, they did not want it.
I feel we fundamentally disagree on that fact. Would you, Isaac? I ask that you cease and desist at this time.
Is that really going to work?
I'm trying. Charisma. I gotta roll for charisma.
Roll persuasion.
I do not enjoy fighting an intelligent creature, but I will do so if I must. But I believe we can talk. On our terms.
Oh, that's
13.
performance, persuasion.
So, whoops. Clicked the wrong one.
There we go.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna roll another d6. I want this to work. Why the fuck
Alright.
not?
It's a
Yeah.
19. So with a 19, the creature mostly on the barn, but still kind of dangling a bit. Eleanor and Gildos, you see its head tilt this way and that. Very owl-like in nature, so it just tilts one way, twists its head another, as if looking all over and thinking, and responds back to Delon. Do you have a warrant?
We were tasked by the Adventurers Guild. As such, in its nature, it would account to one.
It's my property. I claimed it. Look at the tree.
Ah, but it was not handed in writing.
Yes, it
And as
was.
such, though that-
I wrote my name on it. Look at the tree.
Hmm. The tree is while it is not recognized in a city element. Though marked in nature, it is not in a civilized aspect of a farmland. Therefore, you can understand the conundrum.
I mean, it is a stadium. You need a license, I think, to myself.
Come on, I'm enjoying myself. I
know.
The owlbear continues to stew on your words. Leave me be and leave my land.
We are at tis this not exactly your land, was taken. Although I understand your metrics, you believe it to be yours, but it did belong to another party's. It is you that must leave this land. We can do so in peace. We can find you another territory should you wish, the territory for which you to be handled gently. I do not wish to come to this more bloodshed than it needs to. You're an intelligent creature, an upstanding one. I would not enjoy any further issues.
Yes, you come with numbers and weapons to speak peace? You are pack
Aye.
animals, wolves, rounding yourselves on the mighty buffalo.
Then how would you prefer our terms be for such for such an incredibly specimen such as yourself?
Lower your weapons, and I will not defend myself. Final warning. Delon, roll insight.
Yeah. All right, I'll roll insight. Please be good. No.
Anybody who wants to could also roll insight here.
Please.
Do I even have it?
I didn't have it either. I'm rolling
I
insight, bro.
do.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh.
not any wiser.
You can still have a D6.
No, I used it. I used it already.
I'm gonna roll it for Eleanor, but she rolls it with currently disadvantage.
That's the most trustworthy bear ever. Surely would kill us. Surely.
If need be, Delon will put himself in front of everyone. I'll take the fucking hit.
I mean, it's okay. I can take it too. I'm right
So-
next
Is
to
that Bob?
That was Bub's roll. So, as the rest of you are thinking about it, you truly believe that if you lower your weapons, He won't harm you or do anything. Bub pipes up from his bush.
He's backed into a corner. He'll do whatever he needs to currently to survive. He's wanting us at a disadvantage.
The owlbear pokes his head briefly over the roof and narrows his owl eyes at Bub. Rat.
So it seems your true nature has come to fruition. You will not speak on terms unequal of us. You will not allow so. You will not leave here either. Is that your this is your final warning. Do so and live another day. Stay and meet your destiny.
I just wanted to live my good life in my barn.
A good life, but at the detriment of others.
They didn't want it. They were not using it. They had cows, old, that were well past their prime. Tough meat.
Well then, let me ask you. If they truly didn't need them, didn't want them, then why complain about what happened?
That's what people do. People complain. They complain because the bear can think.
And yet we are speaking to you on your terms. We are talking to you as if you are a man of another person. We believe you'd have intelligence to understand the situation. We're trying to find a peaceful resolution. Our weapons are only insurance. Should things prove different, us lowering our weapons completely has shown that you would take advantage of it. So it seems you are also complaining in this situation, because you're not getting what you want.
Make me one more persuasion roll.
Okay. Oh! 20, bitch.
So the owlbear stews for a moment and finally finishes climbing on top of the roof as he sits down and kicks his big ol' feet over the edge, rubbing his bleeding paws on the bricks of the wall for a moment as his wounds kind of stop bleeding a little bit. And you see Delon from your vantage point, from where you are on your horse, that he is about here now, and he rests one of his big old bare hands on his leg and props his head on the other as he seems to just think for a moment.
He's doing the man thinketh pose.
I am surrounded. I am being picked at like a creature in a cage. I surrender.
An agreement of surrender, then. Is that true? Speak earnestly.
The odds of myself escaping this situation, with my heels being bitten at and my hide being probed at with spear and sword and fire, is not appropriate for me. I will die, and you all will be gravely wounded. The outcome is not beneficial.
Indeed. To either party.
Eleanor tilts her head, still having a spell ready at a moment. Creature, I've never seen an owlbear who can speak so fluently. Are you one of the Blue Dragon's subjects? His head turns and looks at her upside down. You call that thing master? It lets me live with other owlbears. The other owlbears don't talk.
Oh, you poor bastard. You poor bastard.
I am better than them, and they cannot talk. I walk on 2 feet, and they walk on 4, dirtying their claws. How am I to live amongst them?
Can we keep him? Can we keep him? I love him. My good man, you are in a difficult situation. A speaking owlbear is not a common occurrence, as you've experienced yourself. But I recognize intelligence, and your clear enunciations and tone lead me to be a dignified being, held firm by its more chaotic nature. But you are a better man. You recognize the logic in the situation and have found yourself an understanding. I believe we can come to an impasse. A proper solution.
What do you offer?
I see, Izuku. This situation, you wish to be like a man, act like a man. You have the intelligence of one as well. But your body and your nature fights against it. I have a few solutions for you. We can return you henceforth to the Blue Dragon's care, and you can explain your situation and how you found yourself. I'm sure he will be interested to hear how you were operating among your other kind. Or you can explain your actions in kind and come with us.
So
But,
either I
each solution-
return to Papa Bear, or I go out with the ones who poked me. Either way, I seem to be subservient.
He scratches his chin. Sir Gildas. Alright, actually I'm gonna say Bob. Sir Bob. Bob, what do you know of nature of owlbears?
They're solitary creatures that live in their own little areas and are very territorial. And they don't talk.
Understood. I understand that part. I see.
Is it too much for Barry, to go out and want solitude and independence?
No, good sir. It is
When he
not.
says his name, he pops his head out, puffs his chest out, puts a clawed hand on his chest.
I see. That's your name then. Barry, as it were. No, good.
My self-given title.
I see.
He's very proud of his name.
Alright, then I shall address you forward as such. Good Barry. I understand one aspect to live a solitary life. But there are rules in man's world, in the kingdoms, and understanding them is paramount. That is how we have come forward. If any other band had shown up, they would not have spoken with you in such a manner, or given you these opportunities. You had a rare opportunity to hear from us, and take our advice. The situation you found in yourself is, unfortunately, against the other farmers in this land. They are frightened by your nature, as you have taken what you believe is yours. In man's word, that is not so. You must abide by these rules. Do you understand me?
I understand you believe them to have been upset at theft. But the law of nature says that if you do not claim something, then it is not yours. It is at odds with me. I do not understand.
But the moment you decided to nest yourself into, well, this place, this artificial structure, you inherently abandon the law of natures for the law of man.
Indeed, as Sir Gildas states, you left the law of nature once you obtained man's law, and to man's land. You must adhere by their rules. You're a being of two rules. Nature is fine enough, but once you step upon these lands, you must adhere to their rules.
So many rules. Why do you humans, dragonborns, dark elves, why do you surround yourself with so many rules? Don't you find it stifling?
I do not wish to speak for the others, but I find rules integral. We can abide ourselves by them. We can grow strong off of them, even if they are frustrating sometimes. I will not lie. I admire your pursuit of independence, and it is a good one. But independence, causing the destructions of others' independence and pursuits of happiness, and that's not the way you want to live a life.
It's not.
No, dear boy. Not at all. There's a better way to live life. One where you adhere to your own principles, while recognizing others. 'Tis what I believe, at least.
You notice that he's inched closer on the roof, as if inching closer to you subconsciously. Must I listen to them?
To a certain extent, if you wish to live. Imagine.
Do I have to listen? Some people are ever so foolish.
'Tis true. But
My honest opinions, rules are more like guidelines, really. Like,
as long as you follow certain guidelines, you stay out of trouble. Then you can live your life the way you wish. As long as you follow
course.
certain guidelines.
you don't always have to agree what it is, but sometimes you don't really have the choice. Which is, well, our present case, really.
He resumes his thinking pose for a moment, and then nods to himself, jumping off the roof and landing on his big old paws on hind legs. Though you see as his eyes squint for a moment as he lands, and then he kind of does like a little, like, lift one paw then the other for a moment. And he walks right over to Delon. He's so big that he stands eye level with you, even on your horse. And he extends a mighty bare hand to you. Then I will learn how to follow the guidelines.
Delon gently extends his hand and shakes one of the claws. And I welcome you to it. As a rep, and I welcome you to it. Welcome to welcome to the intelligent world, young Barry.
You see his beak kind of turn upwards in a bit of a smile. He nods, and then leans against the bar and starts rubbing his back against it. Those sheep had fleas.
Oh. Might I just suggest something to ease your way into civilization, though?
Indeed.
Well, that would be, well, to get rid of the traps around.
Well, you were the one to make these traps.
He nods. Indeed. They are quite simple. The cows had bells on them. I took them off. There was rope in one of the barns. I just strung them together. and then I planted a piece of wood, a branch from a tree, into the ground, tying them together. Then I covered it with mud and leaves.
Truly intelligent. I say truly intelligent. What you seem is so simple is not often the case for many of your brethren. A regular owlbear would not have been able to consider these measures.
Yes, but I am better than them.
You are, Sir Barry. That's why I admire it. You indeed are a truly splendid specimen.
Thank you. It's nice for someone else to see it. He walks over to the cart, picks it up, and moves it so it's not at an angle and it's more flush against the wall. There.
Oh my god, that's fucking adorable.
Hey, that crooked cart has been bothering me all morning.
Just gonna sit down next to the tree.
Yeah, I think we all can like put the spells down at this point.
Eleanor seems extremely cautious. She gestures you over to her as the bear is just kind of like wandering around and disarming the traps or like filling the holes with dirt.
Yeah. Yes, Lady Domino?
Is it wise to let him go about like this? It's not that I do not wish for him to have a happier existence. Seems he's been assumed to be fine by the master. Something he's prone to doing at times. It is just... he's clearly more animal than even he is truly aware of.
Indeed. But one's nature does not always hold the truest form on them. Beneath it is an intelligent mind, one that needs to be nurtured, explored. Being here, solitude, causing more ruckus, it will just cause pain and suffering to this young fledgling. I cannot stand idly by and see such things occur. Clearly he is in need of a chaperone, or at least a mentor.
I see.
My knightly code is you may not believe this, but my knightly code offers mercy at best when we can. Honor, gallantry, and mercy. And in that moment, when he spoke of intelligence, I adhered to that intelligence, and when he spoke back, I was honor-bound to adhere to mercy until he showed otherwise.
I understand. Still, though, I was not expecting us to come over and confront something that could talk back, that was fully aware of what it was doing. Intelligence,
Indeed.
I suspected, yes, but not to this level.
I don't think any of us expected that, Silver.
Yeah, basically. Neither did I, Sir Gildas. I presumed us ready for battle. To a grave one.
I was ready to exert divine wrath on it, but... well... you did what you thought was the best option. And
you, Gildas?
honestly, I have a comment on that, but considering what I've done myself, I'm not really one to talk, so... I suppose I'll extend my congratulations on taming an owlbear.
I suppose so. The
Yes,
truest
that
question
is-
at this point is...
That is something that you would expect to read from a heroic tale. How a knight bested a mighty owlbear with nothing but words.
Delon scratches his neck, kind of blushing a bit. You honor me. Both of you. Still, Sir Gildas. What do we do with this creature?
Well,
As Delon says that, the owlbear is over in the mud, and you hear him yell aloud, "Oh, fiddlesticks! The mud hoes are the worst! Stop it! Stop! Ugh.
Oh,
More dirty."
honestly, I defer to, well, the Adventurers Guild and the population, really. I mean, after all, it's gonna be the neighbor. So, well, they have to find a way to coexist, and, well, that means that stockpile of dead cows and sheep and what have you. Blah. Does it even have money?
It does not know it's the concept of money. It could not possibly understand. It could, in theory, understand trade, though. And you are a tradesman, Sir Gildas. He gives a
Right.
nice smile.
But it's not exactly the kind of trade I'm into. I'm just thinking about, well, how's it gonna fit itself, you know?
Delon thinks for a moment and snaps his fingers. Sir Bub, what are owlbears good for? Are they excellent trackers?
Yes, they are good trackers. They are good at finding things and hunting.
Delon snaps his fingers. There we have it. We have our huntsman. Why, he'll be the finest huntsman in the entire village. He'll be known around the world, around the lands of Asterium. The greatest huntsman to have ever been seen. He knows creatures so well because he is one, a man of both worlds.
Oh, you better prepare your sales pitch for the peasants then.
He shuffles and trying to dust off a little bit off of himself. We'll have to speak with him then, and the Adventurers Guild. I don't want any more surprises for our fine feathered friend.
So as you say this, he comes over, being all wet, and he's rubbing a towel on his face. You can tell the towel has holes in it from his claws. As he goes to take it off, he goes to try to let go of it, and it gets stuck on his claw. He wiggles his hand around a moment, and then it flies off and lands on the ground. He picks it up and folds it again. The holes have been filled, and the spikes have been removed. Do I have to give them back my food?
That you do not have to.
I do not need to give them back all the meat.
Perhaps you might trade some, should you wish. After all, if I believe correctly in the law of nature, he looks to Bub. What you kill, you keep.
Bub nods.
It was hard work to kill those creatures.
And man does recognize hard work. But should you feel the need to trade furs or skins or meat to other farmers, it's fair to do so. But the property itself, you cannot stay, unfortunately.
And where am I to take up home? A cave is too dark and wet. And I can't live in the woods. It's too dirty and muddy. There's bugs that buzz around.
Indeed. Thus you'll need a home made especially for you, good sir. But you'll need to be welcomed by the people around you. You don't want to go back to the woods all by yourself, but you also don't want to cause trouble with the locals. My boy, and he taps the side of the owlbear on his horse. 'Tis the most difficult point in your life at this moment. You must pull yourself together and speak with the common folk. Let them hear your words and your understandings, and they shall lead to deliberation between them. But know this, young Barry, whatever decision they make, I will be by your side. I place my honor upon it.
So that if they decide to kill me for my monstrous nature, you will defend me?
He thinks for a moment, pauses, and goes, I will not let such a mind be snuffed out with such rash decision.
May I have that in writing?
If you can hold it, I will do so.
I'm sure we can have the Adventurers Guild do with that, actually.
Indeed. Speaking of which,
See as the bear turns his head to you all. Aren't you rat catchers and rogues?
For now.
I don't
Aye.
understand how banditry could help.
It is a place for the Adventurers Guild is a place for the common folk. Although young in its inspiration, it is a figure for us to allow a conversation within safe term.
Lead me to this adventurer's guild so that I might have conversation in a safe term.
Follow us then, good man. Young Barry?
Before you head off, he leans down to you specifically, Gildos. Is this the right way to bend the rules?
In a manner of speaking, yes. I'll say.
Excellent. I like that much better.
Just raise an eyebrow and say, you better behave, though.
You get the club. Not
Right.
really.
Well,
That could literally just be the name of this whole campaign. Not the club.
Define
Like,
club later on.
Literally, someone just takes that. Literally, somebody takes out a club, and then all the blue kobolds, the goblins, even the owlbear, nut club. They all say nut club.
Later on in the campaign, Dagdar becomes blessed by Bridget, and when he smites, instead of its divine smite, it's divine club.
Divine club.
I would like
He
to-
becomes the first goblin to get blessed. That's a sight to
mean-
behold.
He's well on his way now.
He is, really is.
Yeah.
You're doing the Lord's work.
Alrighty. So, with big
Once
ol'
again.
owlbear walking on hind legs, the party
As we-
trailing behind you. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, as we leave like the farm, I'll like put a hand on like Helena's shoulder and say, next time try not to drink too much. And then do that.
She nods with a sheepish smile. Oh, nice. She is cured of her poisoning. You see as she does a small bow to you, Gildas? Thank you very much. I'm sorry that you had to waste some of your talents on something as foolish as that. I'll try to have a better grasp of what I drink from now on.
Don't mention it, it's never a waste. I came in here prepared to deal with an owlbear, look at that. What do I do? That, and there's also something else. You said you were proficient in scimitars, weren't you? Didn't you?
Yes, I am.
Right. Well, you see, since Mr. Owlbear there is a nocturnal person, I was thinking that, well, you know the scimitar we have in the bag, that's, act as a torch as well. I give that to you, as well, you really are the only one who can use it. But, well, seeing your state earlier, cannot really have you swing the sword, so...
I see. I would be very grateful of a magical gift like that. And I promise
Right.
I'll take good care of it.
Well, I reach inside the bag. Hand it to her.
Alrighty. So Eleanor obtains a let's see, +1 silver scimitar of lighting.
It's not like we have torches anyway, so.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta love how we gotta derail stuff. Oh, we're gonna murder this thing. It's like, oh, hold on, gents. This thing can talk. You, good man. What are you doing? Explain yourself.
We'll say have to deal with the bandits on the way to.
I want them try. I fucking would like to see them try with a hind leg walking owlbear. I would just nope the heck out of there at that point.
And but you know, on the way to Nebulin, because I doubt the old bear would be with us still. I'm not.
True, exactly, true. Yeah, we'll have to deal with that too.
Oh, read from the card. Let's do that.
There we go. And with that, the party leaves the farm, marching back towards the Adventurers Guild. Owlbear walking on his hind feet, wincing every once in a while as he does so, but refusing to go on all fours. They return to the tavern. When you return, by the way, you hear a horn blare, and then another smack on the head. Stop blaring the war horn! The what, chief? He's not here for war. You use the celebration horn right here. Oh, I'm gonna scare people. And then you hear a different horn.
Surprised they even have a war horn here.
Well, the goblins, they always have a war horn.
Yeah.
So as the party steps into the tavern, you are quickly given a nod by the barkeep. However, shortly after, there is like a as the owlbear kind of squeezes his way through the door and drums his claws on his stomach, looking around kind of sheepishly. Is this the safe place to talk? There's a lot of people with weapons. Is this
Indeed.
a honey trap?
No, my good man. It is not.
The barkeep's eyebrows raised so far above his head you could see his eyes underneath, and his mustache kind of twitches as he stares at the giant owlbear in his tavern. What in blue blazes? How are you doing? It's not wrapped up, is it?
No, my good man. We have a peculiar situation here that I wish to speak with you on.
Well, okay then. Come on up to the counter. Okay then. And the owlbear immediately begins walking towards the bar after saying that. He looks around for a chair and sits down on like 4 stools as they creak beneath his weight. Did you just talk? Yes.
That is what I wanted to speak with you about, good sir. This gentleman right here, who refers to himself as Barry.
Oh, my bad. There you go.
As Barry. is an intelligent owlbear. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you gain such intelligence from the blue dragon.
Yes. I was experimented and brought in with magic. And then when I showed a clear ability to speak, but I was incapable of learning spells, I was allowed to live with my brothers, but they could not speak.
As you can see, young Barry over here, he only understood the laws of nature. When he saw old cattle and a place that was not being used, well, if we were simply left up to our own on nature, could not speak with our brethren, and saw a comfy abode with old cattle, he simply believed he could take it. As such, he caused the situation here without truly understanding the consequences, not understanding the laws of man when he entered into it, believing they to be the same as the laws of nature.
See, as Barry extends a hand as if gesturing while he speaks, claws is kind of waving in the air around him. I still don't quite understand what the big deal is. It was an empty farm and they were old animals. I wasn't taking the young ones. These were ones well past their prime. They were just having them eat their grain. It's wasteful.
Easy our predicament.
Well, I had no idea it would turn out like this. At least a lot of you are alright. I thought it was just gonna be some owlbear setting up traps and trying to munch on you. Oh, I was going to munch on them if they were less grizzled and had more for delicious tender bits, but look at that. And he taps a claw on your armor, Delon. Not edible at all. The barkeep kind of scratches his head a little, and just kind of slides a mug of meat over to all of you except the bear. What am I? Chopped liver? And he slides a tankard over to the bear, who takes it in his big old bear hands and seems to tilt his head for a moment, as if surprised he actually got one, and then starts chugging it.
See, good man. He still is young, still learning the ways. Doesn't fully understand. So, well, we've accomplished our mission. I don't believe he'll be doing so. He still needs a guidance and a mentor to explain to him the laws of man. As such, we were perhaps hoping you could explain to the locals the circumstances we've explained to you. I believe after they understood his poor predicament, they'd be more understanding of the situation. Of course, the abode is to be returned to the rightful owners. With most of his kills and meat being in his care, as it is fairly useless for humans at this point.
They should remark the tree, or take down my tree and mark a different tree if they wish to claim ownership. That way other bears won't come wandering in. Barkeep just kind of like face palms. He's having a hard time keeping up, but then eventually reaches under their counter, takes out what looks like some very hard whiskey, pours himself a shot, and downs it immediately, then does it one more time. Puts a cork on it, puts it back under the counter, and looks the bear dead in the eyes. You, what are you good at? I am quite good at many things. No, what are you good at? Quick, come on. You're rude. Well, I have great perceptual skills. I am very intelligent, and I think of myself as quite the esteemed bear.
Delon speaks up. Or let Bub. He's a good hunter.
Are you good at catching rats? Rats? Below my skills. Why would you want to kill and eat rats. Just kill them and dispose of them. Not worth eating.
Everyone has to start somewhere.
If you want to have the protection of the Adventurers Guild, then you're gonna have to rat catch. Because those goblins are into my mead too much. You're out restraint, right? Is that what this is? No! Oh. Well then don't want whatever's down there. Good. Starting tomorrow, you can go catch some rats and we'll work from there. Do I get a say in this? No! You want protection? That's how it works. He looks specifically at you, Gildas.
Well, whistle.
For once, that was not Gildas, that was me. I believe speaking to Barry was mine, so if there's additional arrangements that need to be made, you can speak to me. I understand I am imposing upon you a difficult situation, but my honor as a knight forbade me from striking a creature of intelligence who can speak with clear rhetoric and understanding.
I see. You know, you lot are not doing much for my reputation. First, I got these lot in here who are surprisingly harmless. I already had a smuggling problem. He glares at Filcher, who just wiggles his fingers and shoots him a wink. And now I'm gonna have the reputation of keeping the most fearsome, bulky, back-talking bear in all these lands. I quite like the sound of that.
Well, at least you can boast. Soon you will be able to boast about having the most unique inn in this side of the country, at least.
That might be a good selling point. Hey.
Who other goblin workers and an intelligent owlbear as their companion?
That is a good point. So the barkeep leans across the counter as the bear's head turns around and he sees a goblin, and he gets up and starts following the goblin. You lot, you think he could end up being a good bouncer?
And like Delon chuckles. A good bouncer. My dear barkeep, owlbears are one of the fiercest creatures in the world. With a simple pat of his bear claw, he'd push anyone aside who wasn't wearing heavy set armor and without sturdy feet.
I mean, just in there standing beside the door will deter just about any troublemaker, short of a powerful wizard.
Well, if this rat-catching thing keeps working for me, I might have him see how it goes with, some smaller fries. And if he's actually a good worker, who knows, I might be able to hire him as a bouncer. It's hard to be the bouncer and the barkeep at the same time, so actually having a big old lug like that around could work rather nice.
Excellent.
Now, I just need to
let us draw up the
how
contract.
To suit him some armor.
That we don't know, although I'm sure that gives Gildas ideas.
Well, I've never done that, but I can. If you provide the material, I can probably work something. Out.
So
with this challenge, though.
Barkeep nods, pours you all a glass of mead. Well then, congratulations on being promoted to intermediates. Excellent, so I start off as an intermediate. No, you started as a rookie like everyone else, you just happened to soar quickly to intermediate. Just don't go dying, because you're so ambitious, right lass? Sure. Nobody starts as an intermediate, everyone starts as a rookie, you gotta work your way up.
rookies these days.
Delon, in the meantime, because he's official, he will be actually helping with the contract.
Right.
He promised Barry, can I get that in writing? He jest, but he took it seriously.
Alrighty, so with that, you help make the contracts. The barkeep, after helping you with the contracts, goes down into his cellar and comes back up with different pens. Alright, hand me your current pens. I'm gonna hand you a new one. After accepting your pens from you, he hands you a new pen. Your prior one was clearly made from copper. This one looks like it's made from silver.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations on your promotions. You see as he stands upright, you hear boots hit together, and he salutes you. Go out there and make the Adventurers Guild proud.
It doesn't come with benefits, does it?
Well, you can now stay in any of the taverns there for free.
Oh.
Well, the taverns that we run for free. And also, we'll be more likely to ask to recommend you tougher jobs, which pay better. Because you've proven yourself to be capable and responsible.
Uh-huh.
Bob puffs out his chest.
Eleanor smiles at all this and puts her pen on herself, very obviously in display, wearing it proudly. Excellent. This will be quite nice, perhaps some sort of status symbol. Will we be able to be recognized with these? Oh yeah, you'll be recognized wearing it. I wouldn't recommend it for a lady like yourself, though. Not unless, you're looking for that kind of attention. What on earth are you meaning? Well, a lot of us are called filthy rat catchers, and the derogatory term is the Thieves Guild, as you know. Right. So even the silver badge has a bad reputation. Don't look at it like that. It has a much worse reputation than the rookies. You actually proved you get jobs done. Honestly, nobody really likes to pay for rookies. But that's the bulk of the workforce, so, you know, vicious cycle and all that.
Indeed. Consider it. This is an opportunity, Lady Null, and in order to prove that you are not what other people say you are. And as I recall, that is your entire quest.
True. I will see it as one more step to getting the highest tier badge that he has to offer. From what I've gathered, there's only a handful of people who have that tier, correct? I've heard of one man, Roderick, who has one. Oh aye, Roderick's the single most competent hero that I've got under my employ. Wish he'd come back from King's Landing.
Oh. Have you had anything from him yet, or?
No, just that it seems from my brother over there that he's still dealing with politics over there.
I see.
Apparently that gem y'all got was quite a hefty problem.
Right, he still glares at Filcher.
As you say this, he lays down a hand of cards against Shiza. Royal Flush. Hey, you're cheating! That card came from your sleeve. On my honor, as my mom's dead grave, it did not. You don't have a mom, you're a bastard. Got me there.
I'm sure Roderick is not enjoying himself any more than you would say. But we could not have handed it to a better man.
Indeed. Well, since we're going through King's Landing, we might just bump into him on the way there.
Indeed. Good idea. I'm sure he'd be happy to see us.
Aye, and when you head over there, tell my brother I said hello.
We'll do so.
He also reaches under the counter, takes out a bottle of what looks like unlabeled wine, and hands it to the party. And this to him. It's my newest brand, and I'm dying to know how he feels about it.
A wine bottle?
Don't you dare go open it. Once it's opened, it'll lose its premier bouquet.
Uh-huh.
That won't be necessary. Dylan says, just kind of putting it in the bag of holding.
Excellent. Here you go. 10 silver for each of you for now, and my brother will secure payment when you arrive.
Nice.
Think of yourselves as merchants carrying my goods for me for now.
But seriously, don't die on the way.
And don't take the mountain path.
Yeah.
And don't let this get robbed by the highwaymen.
Understood.
Speaking of the
We won't be
highwaymen,
taking
I
that
do
back.
have a question now that my head's a little less fuzzy.
Yes?
Are they large in number?
Oh, aye! They're an officially sanctioned group of highway patrolmen in, Niblum.
I'm sorry, what? They're a militia band?
Yes!
Goodness.
Which is why we'll need to be careful on the roads.
So then an outright fight with them is...
Not recommended, but they're decently organized, but they're kind of like Canfighter. You know, how us militiamen usually are. He rubs the back of his head.
Either we show them we're strong enough to deal with them, or well, we'll fall down to marvelous Dragonborn's Glib Tongue to get us out of trouble.
Just be careful, that glib tongue could get you into trouble.
Indeed. Yeah, Dylan says, like, taking a sip, kind of looking down.
Alrighty. And as the party continues to celebrate and enjoy themselves, with the tavern successfully celebrating a successful mission, the barkeeper hands you all cumulatively about... He hands you essentially 40 silver to be shared amongst all of you for the owlbear task. So that's another, I imagine, 10 on top of what you already got.
Alright, so all in all 20 each.
Yes.
Okay.
20 each, which makes it, now have 5 silver and 16 gold.
Nice.
Because 100 silver becomes a gold
Indeed it does.
in this system.
Yes it does. So with that, the party begins heading to... They enjoy themselves into the evening and manage to enjoy a night in the tavern for free. Give me a moment.
Yeah, take your time.
Well, since you know, the old bear is now, regularized or something, I'll actually do him a solid and, use some healing word on his paws.
Yeah, do something solid for that.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Just me back on my sheet. My mouse is fucking up.
Alright. So it's 1d4. So you're healing him for 1d4?
I mean, I rolled it already.
Oh, you did roll it? Oh, there it is, yeah. There we go. Huh, Delon was rolling healing word apparently. Interesting. Let's see. 7 healing, alright. So
I
with
mean, we
that,
just close the wounds and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
you do patch up his paws. He appreciates it for you. And later that night, he comes back with some rabbits and hands them to you for essentially thanks.
Well, we'll fancy some rabbits on the way.
Alright. And as the party heads off to sleep, give me a moment. As
Assassins come. Roll again.
no, I have no need to. You're not popular enough to be assassinated yet.
Yeah.
So I'll start with Delon. So Delon, as you lay in bed and you fall asleep, eyes closing, you are slowly awoken by a cool breeze that blows through the air, grazing against your scales, and you can hear water flowing around you. You're on some white, tranquil grass.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
As you awaken and begin looking about, you see as there is a woman within this very beautiful chamber. It is a sort of crystalline, uh, very it's crystalline glade of sorts. Everything here is white or pearlescent, bit of a rainbowish hue to all of it, and you are briefly blinded by a literal holy light as a woman comes into the room and offers you a gaze. How was my brother?
Delon's eyes immediately grow wide. He lowers his head, places his arm over his chest, and gives it a sublime bow. My lady.
She nods slowly at you. You may rise.
He is, well, inquisitive in nature, um, incredibly intelligent, bombastic, and proud. He is as who you said he would be, and all the more.
I see. Then it sounds as if he was doing well. Was his guidance helpful on your quest?
He was. His information proved useful in my knowledge in the pursuit of my quest. The King's Glaive.
Good.
Though, my lady, if I may ask, why did you not tell me that I need to become a hero to even see it?
She looks around the chamber, simply walking as her flowing white gown simply kind of drags around behind her.
Mm.
She looks noticeably up towards the ceiling of this chamber as she speaks. Because part of a hero's quest is to fully understand what is needed of them on their own. Is it not?
I see. Yes, I can see that logic. Might I say, my lady, you look absolutely radiant. I've not seen you in such a form.
Thank you. You have earned the right to see this form in all its splendor. She turns
Thank you.
around to you, her hands delicately placed like a lady in front of her waist.
Mm.
This is the form that I do business with the other nations in.
I see.
When I go out to do diplomacy, or to arrange a treatise, or offer kindnesses with nobility or kingdoms, I manifest as this.
I can see how difficult it would be to say no to such a figure as thee. When a request comes from thee in such a way. Ah, and of recent business, after meeting your brother, I fought a giant creature. I met with the king of Asterium, and now walking with a few companions. One of which is Sir Bob. He is the druid to the Blue Dragon, and Sir Gildis, a great cleric from from the land of Arnold, and our latest member, Lady Eleanor, a high elf who is making her ways to the land of monsters, so she might learn more about um, the other elves there.
I see. She gives, as you
Oh,
speak of your accomplishments,
mhm,
you see as she smiles ever so slightly in a very mysterious yet warm way.
mhm.
If you have seen The Lord of the Rings, you
Yeah,
understand, yeah, how Galadriel smiles. It's
mhm.
very similar to that.
Very otherworldly, warm but still otherworldly.
Exactly. Then you are well on your way.
Indeed. M- My lady, not that seeing you at any time I would not appreciate it, but to what occasion do I owe seeing you now?
In all honesty, I have another request of you. Since I have been made aware that you had finished the one that I had given you. Since you are
Of
to
course,
leave Asterium, then the business that I would have you do elsewhere must also be conveyed.
I see. You may speak, my lady. I will hear upon any request that you ask, and will try to do so with the best of my abilities.
There is a border dispute between Nebulum and King's Landing. Trade routes are blocked, and the other alternative has been forcibly shut by an unknown party. So the trading through the Savage Lands, heading through the Great Wall into King's Landing, through the outpost there, is also not available.
Uh,
This has been bolstering Neblum's coffers, and many countries, if they wish to do business with Asterium must pass through Nebulum. This is causing tension among certain kingdoms and regions, as Nebulum is, for all intents and purposes, extorting the other nations through a embargo of sorts.
Hmm.
If at all possible, I would wish for you to find a way to cease this embargo. Whether it be freeing up the currently blocked trade route through the mountains, finding a way to handle the paramilitary group that is blocking the trade in Nebulum, or negotiating a trade deal somehow.
I see. Far be it from me to question your methods, but you are so far away from Nebulum. Why such a request, my lady? If I may ask.
The reasoning is that it is causing tension among the other nations, and you are my closest operative to the region. So my humble request falls upon you, Dalon. This is a request that only you can fulfill.
I see. I will not fail you then.
Excellent. I will be awaiting your eventual success then. May you walk within the pearlescent light.
Aye.
See as she begins walking away, and the farther she walks from you, the more the light in the room gets brighter actually, and you once again return to a pleasant sleep, awakening to find that the light in the tavern is shining on your eyes. A beautiful day ahead.
Hmm.
And as for Gildas, as you are sleeping, you fade into a tranquil, peaceful sleep. Eventually, you are awoken by the sounds of music, as well as some cheering and camaraderie. And lastly, kind of sounds like a marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
As you begin wandering or looking about, you find that this is sort of reminds you of either the Fae or something similar that you would have seen. Something kind of like some of the wilds in either Asterium or some of the places you pass through on your travels with elves, but it's different. The people here are cheering and enjoying themselves, but they're all craftsmen.
Mm-hmm.
And at the heart of this festival of crafting is a large statue of a goddess. You feel compelled to approach this statue.
Right, I do so, but considering the place and all, I'll think to myself, did I die in my sleep and end up in heaven somehow?
As you wander into the festival area and heading towards the statue, one of the tradespeople comes over and hands you a flagon, welcoming you to the festival.
Mhm. I smile, take the flag, and no. Partake in the festivities as I work my way there. So, I kinda get where I am, but can never be too sure.
So as you partake in the festivities, you find that it lifts some exhaustion from your person. You feel quite relieved and relaxed from all that's happening around you. You feel at home. And as you finally reach the very large statue, it's quite literally the size of like maybe 3 or 4 people standing on each other's shoulders. It is large enough that you could see it from all parts of this festival hall. And you recognize it immediately as a statue of Bridget.
Right. And so, as I get to the statue, I'll put my hands up in a prayer and give my respects to my patron.
As you give your respects, you find that a voice from above the statue, begins to respond to you. And you find that the area is emboldened in a warm light, like the light of a forge. Very warm orange glow.
Nice.
Gildos, you have been doing precisely as you said you would be. You have brought many to my faith, more than likely you realize.
Your Holiness, well, I'll be honest, when I embarked on my journey, I didn't think my first converti would be a bunch of goblins, but I haven't been disappointed in them. Oh, their, their heart is in the right place. Quite frankly, I don't regret my choice. Although, I can't hide that I was worried that there might not be the kind of worshippers you would seek, but I suppose my worries were unfounded.
They are hard workers. They craft with genuine joy and intent. They are crude, yes, but they are craftsmen at spirit and heart all the same. As such, I approve and have been giving them as much good fortune as I can return for their continued devotion. And I will be blessing you as well, in due time, if you continue to do as you have been doing.
Well, lately I've been thinking that I wasn't doing enough actual clerical work, so I was hoping to use the journey I'm about to undertake with my companions as a way to, well, actually play the part, so to speak.
You feel the warmth of the light around you grow even more and comforting, like an embrace. Do as such. Do not let the flames of the forge die out. Carry that torch and light more torches.
Hmm. I'll carry that torch all the way up to Montparium, if I can.
A most dangerous concept.
Dangerous perhaps, but I feel like I will be able to avoid that. So, may as well make the most of it.
Indeed, one must make the most of situations that they are put into. And as such, you are soon to be thrust into a situation to which there is a benefit for our faith to have. There is an old temple of sorts, a forgery, where workers of Bridget once worked,
Temple,
creating
you say?
beautiful works. When you venture into the Savage Lands, I would like to request that you go over into the temple and acquire the idols and holy symbols from within it, so that they do not waste away idly and to the ends of time.
And where exactly the Savage Lands is it?
It has been overtaken by the wild growth and plants and the very nature of the Savage Lands itself. The
See.
path to the temple is wrought with peril, but in this trial you will be rewarded.
We were making our way there, either way, so I shall do so, as is my duty. And
Thank you for
hopefully,
accepting this task.
my companions won't mind the detour once we're there, but I trust them. I don't think there's gonna be a bother. And, well, it's not exactly something I can do alone either way.
Indeed, you have found companions in which they can bring their wills and efforts to the flame at which you hold. Their tenders grow the flames.
Still, I'll say, I'm glad that, well, I'm not actually dead. After all, once I arrived here, I felt like, well, this is it. Perhaps there was something in the mead, but
No, Gildas, it is not your time yet. You have much more to do.
right. Well then, suppose once I'm done with my task and I want to appear again, I don't know what this will be about. Still, how much time do I have left until dawn? I want to take a look around the place, get familiar with it.
Then you will have the time to do so. For a dream may last for all time, even though it takes but a moment. And as she
Thank
says this, you find that she slowly begins to essentially leave the large statue of herself, with the warm glow almost seems to have stuck with you. Feeling like it doesn't quite leave your person.
Mhm. I'll say thank you, Your Holiness, as I step away from the statue. Yeah, take in the, surroundings.
There are people haggling over the wares they're selling. Some people looking at materials and laughing together at either sharing materials or exchanging materials. People showing off their best works to each other. All sorts of things. It's like a crafters convention, if you will. Just everyone
Right.
here are craftsmen that are just have a sheer love and passion for what they do, and they respect the people if there's someone better than them or who has a different method of crafting than themselves as well. There is no actual quarreling over whose method is better. If they do quarrel over that, they almost always butt heads, maybe punch each other a bit, and then laugh as they walk over and grab a tankard.
Right. So I'll sit on the bench and I'll like contemplate and say, "Well, that's a nice afterlife, isn't it? Hopefully the devil doesn't take me away. Until then, well, before then rather."
All
And with
right.
that, I'll sink back to sleep.
So, as you slink back to sleep and you rest, you have a very peaceful, healing rest, as it was one of the best sleeps you have had in a while, both Delon and Gildas.
Have a good
Both of you,
midday
by the
note
way,
too.
awaken with the light, either in Delon's case, sunlight streaming down on his face from his window, and in Gildas's case, the the what's it called? The fireplace in your bedroom is burning
Uh-huh.
especially bright and warm this morning.
Good omen.
And with that, I'm gonna wrap up today's session.
Yep.
Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.